What's shaking, Warfighter Nation? Ron here with Warfighter Ranch and Isaiah 6:8. Welcome to the Send Me podcast, a family of the Warfighter Nation and first responder communities the world over. Our mission here is to live a little, love a whole lot, and probably offer you a little something different each time. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and join our faith-filled community who at one time or another raised their right hand and said,
Here am I. Send me.
humility. It's a hard pill to swallow for some. See what it did there? Warfighter Nation, as you well know, we are a proud people, and that stems from a long lineage of service to a still blossoming nation, believe it or not. We pride ourselves on excellence and hold dearly to our faith, family, and freedom. It's not just something we do, it's who we are. And as American warfighters, many of us have witnessed around the world as other countries have seemingly viewed us as those arrogant Americans. Not necessarily the nation's military members, because they're pretty much like us at heart. A humble soldier, no matter where he hails from, knows humility through service at a level that most can't even comprehend. I learned early in my career not to judge a people based on their country's leadership when it comes to international affairs. This lesson served me well, and I still have many international warfighter friends today. But the topic today, humility, it comes with a price. And that price is our pride. The problem is segregating and measuring our pride appropriately and at the appropriate time. It took me a long time to overcome things like anger and hatred towards my abusers and my enemies. But when I came to realize they were only symptomatic of a deeper struggle that started long before them, all the way back to the Garden of Eden, it really changed the angle of deflection through the lens of which I looked at everything. Humility leads us to a sincere heart towards forgiveness of sin, of others, and even our own. The greatest example of pride in the Bible is Satan, and our greatest example of humility is Jesus himself. To defeat Satan, we must put on the whole armor of God and at the same time imitate Jesus as best we can. Scriptures tell us in the book of Proverbs, written by the man whom God himself called the wisest man to have ever lived, that pride leads to a downfall. Pride leads to haughty eyes and an arrogant heart, but humility leads to honor. The first point I want to make is when it's hardest to love, we need to humble ourselves. During the times that Jesus walked the earth, there were many servants among the people. Including those servants, there were those charged to be foot washers. It was a sign of cleanliness and respect as everyone walked around in sandals all day. And as you might imagine, it's pretty tough on the feet. But it was to be completed by a very lowly position, often someone barely even noticeable in the room. Typically, a very lowly servant. Think of extra duty from an Article 15. Well, the foot washer didn't show up? Oh, that's cool. Upper room, Jesus and the disciples? Yeah, somebody's getting Article 15 out of this deal. Yeah, you, come here. So that's 45 and 45 and, hell, never mind. You're just going to wash feet for the rest of your life. Circle I concur, non-concur, initial block 11, sign block 12. Jesus, the Son of God, who came to earth to save us, with less than 24 hours from the cross, washed the disciples' feet. Now, if he didn't do this, it wouldn't even be noticeable. Nobody would even think about it. and with everything on his mind, with all of our salvation literally on his back. But because he did do it, it was an epic act of humility. The second example we get from Jesus here is when it's personal or painful, humble yourself. The Last Supper, he washed even Judas's feet. John 13:3 tells us, Jesus, knowing that the Father had given all things into his hands and that he had come from God and he was going back to God. Warfighter Nation, this is our future reality as well, which definitely takes the sting out of a lot of this life. Third point, get the big picture here. Humble yourself. He removes his outer garment, ties it around his waist, taking on some sort of uniform, so to speak. So what I'm pulling out of this here is to choose a difficult obedience. Own it all to reconcile it. Grace will find you. Serve in total secrecy. God knows, and that really should be enough. With God, the way up is down. Lay down our liberty willingly, not legalism, but voluntary. Refuse to be offended and read your Bible. Fourth point, understand that meekness is not weakness. It's not groveling, it's not enabling, it's not manipulating. And 5, and this is my final point, my friends. This is my parting shot. And this is my final point, my parting shot. You know you've humbled yourself for the wrong reason if you revert to pride when you don't get what you think you wanted. That's it for this week. You've got your spiritual chow. Pass it on to the next troop, next mission, time now. See ya on the other side.
Do not get off on exit 22, over. You are cleared hot at this time. Smoke Vet 6, this is Smoke Jumper 7. Roger that. Next mission, time now.